of how to cope with this. So with boldness and clarity, I will openly discuss and exploit my disparity, because there are things in my life that I am going through that I don't care to be, but are necessary, even though sometimes it just doesn't seem quite fair to me. So as I attempt to pluck up the roots of my trials, tribulations, and miseries, please understand that I have been hurt by some of the very folk I consider to be near and dear to me, and it has become painfully, obviously quite clear to me that everything in this world is not always what they appear to be. Are you hearing me? You see, the scripture says, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. So I have to protect my heart, because I don't know what you will think of me when I step away from this platform at the end of the night. Because when I leave this place, there may be some issues that are going on at home that I may have to fight, because whatever goes on in the darkness will surely come out to the light. And tonight, my question is, do you know what's behind this mic? Sleepless nights, loss of appetites, broken spirits, hearts contrite, struggling to make ends meet, going home to no lights, one failed relationship after another ending in bitterness and strife, constant thoughts of death, having neither cause nor reason to continue in life. You see, I had no motivation. I lost the passion to do the things that I loved the most. I was void of inspiration. It got to the point when I was no longer motivated to speak my voice. I became no more than the walking dead, solitarily confined to the cemetery of my own choice. My spirit was crushed. My bones were frozen. My soul was cold. I was stressing out over situations that were far out of my reach and beyond my control. Excessively overeating and gaining unnecessary weight. Allowing other people to determine and dictate to me my own fate. And most of the time, these situations had me bent out of shape. And now I have finally found out how to get away and take a break, and poetry has become my way of escape. So as I stand on this platform, this is how I keep my sanity, and this is the avenue to release my grievous afflictions and destructive calamities, because these cuts, wounds, and scars that are on the inside of me have become infected, and it's proven to be quite damaging. I don't think you're understanding me, because pain is inevitable, and no one is ever exempt from this. And just like poetry, I need to find a sane and therapeutic way for me to be fulfilled and replenished of my emptiness, because there were pivotal moments in my life that were ever so delicate and significantly vital. I was beginning to lose every sense of intellect. My emotions began to overcloud my judgment, and my thoughts became suicidal, because my mental strategy can sometimes lead to mental tragedy, not being able to handle the mental capacity of my internal struggles with no tenacity. But that's okay, because you have not seen the last of me. I apply for jobs, but I can't let the fact that I'm black be the reason why you keep passing me. That's right. But if you would just sit down and talk to me, then you would see my veracity, my integrity, the significance of my sincerity. My brain is clogged up with all these thoughts in my mind, trying to figure out what in the world went wrong with my spiritual designs, plots, schemes, devices, plans on how I can muster up the audacity, the courage, the strength in my inner man. I demand that the power of God gives me the wisdom to know that I can do all things through Christ, my inner light, my delight, who brought me out of darkness into the marvelous light, who directs me to walk by faith and not by sight, who corrects me from all of my wrongdoings when I'm not doing right. Never let me get ahead of myself. He shares the wealth of my foresight. Sometimes I can be vindictive and do things out of spite, but in the midst of his corrections, I'm going through trials and tribulations in the list of my depressions. At a cost, I'm lost trying to find myself. Was I sold into my own slavery, or was I bought at a price that I was not even aware of? That it was his love that willingly allowed him to lay down his life. It's nothing but the blood, but my internal struggles can't go unnoticed. It's something I have to deal with in order to keep my focus. This is not abracadabra, hocus pocus. I wish I could make my problems disappear with some magic potion. When I'm hurt, I have to deal with the depths of my emotion. Sometimes I feel like everything is moving in slow motion. So with the pen and the pad, I'm lost in the realm of words, trying to be philosophical and other encouraging things I've heard, and it becomes distracting when you begin to think that absolutely nothing about you is physically attracting, being fake and phony by your brilliant acting, exercising lifted weights, trying to be cute instead of just trying to be you, spending way too much time on beautifying the outside and not enough time on beautifying the inside. If I am weak inwardly, then I must understand and begin to know that outwardly my weaknesses will begin to show. And I know this without a shadow of doubt, that whatever is in you will eventually come out, because no one will start loving me until I start loving myself. I can only be GF Soldier and nobody else. That's right. So as I begin to strategize and prioritize my life, I have to realize that sometimes I will be criticized by jealousy and envy, the lack of self-esteem that comes from within me, harsh words that comes from other people that would offend me. But why is that? It is because of my own insecurities, internal contradictions, conflictions, false intuitions, and in the midst of my afflictions, unclean impurities. And it's true to me, not new to me, that my double-mindedness and ambiguity has been overcome by death and spiritual maturity. It's unforgettable. There's no way that I can change the inevitable. I would die someday, and I don't even have a schedule. know of when this particular event would take place, but it's only God's undying grace that keeps me on pace to eternal life, not corruption. He never leads me down the road of destruction, not allowing Satan to come in and kidnap or illegal abduction. God can add on to my life or start making deductions, not falling for whoremonger smooth words and persuasive seductions, but being obedient to God's word and receiving instructions and allowing myself to be submitted and committed to total reconstruction. He gives direction. The strength that is within comes from his internal resurrection. It comes out of my mouth that I believe that I'm saved. It's my confession. I was made in his image. I am a reflection of the man who created this world in retrospection, who saved me from the evil tricks of the devil and his deceptions. That's why he gave me the gift to spit poetry. I have a collection. So basically what I'm saying is the truth about myself. I have to call upon Jesus to be my help. There's some things about myself that I have to let go, and really I should have gotten rid of these things from the get-go. So as I put this piece inside of a nutshell, I cannot lie. In order for some things to live in me, some things have got to die. I know that my body's dying day by day, but my soul and my spirit is renewed every single day. So if I love my life, then I shall lose it. But if I be willing to die, then life is what I'm choosing. So in other words, my life is what I have to be willing to give, because when I live, I die, and when I die, I live. So when you see me walking through the valley of the shadow of evil, I would not hold my breath, because you're looking at life living inside of death.
Wow.
So death is a person. Death is a person. Yeah.